Hello, and a warm welcome to today's UX conversation. In this series, we invite special guests to talk about their expertise and their thoughts about design and the whole UX domain and the developments that are shaping these fields. And I'm very happy to have a special guest with me today. But first, a few words about who we are. My name is Ake Rudolf. I lead the International Design Center Berlin, the organizer of the UX Design Awards. And I hope that today's talk with Seulki Lee, who I will introduce in a second, will offer you some fascinating thoughts and maybe new perspectives that will be valuable for your own work and also career. So Seulki Lee, as I said, having me being with us today. She's an associate design director at McKinsey and Company, and she's coming on board to the jury of the UX Design Awards Spring 2026. A warm welcome, Seulki. How are you?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, thanks for inviting for today and have a chance to talk with you about myself and design and also talk about the UX communities. Yeah, I'm very honored to be here.
Seulki, let me start a little bit about your own development and story, because I think you have really like a fascinating life story. You actually started from a completely different field, not design. You studied law in South Korea, in Seoul, and then you moved to New Zealand, out of all places. Although
Yeah,
it's not only known for beautiful nature, but also digital design,
yeah,
especially like in 90s, 2000s.
mm-hmm.
And then you moved to Berlin,
Yeah,
and here you started really spreading into diverse elements and sides of design. First, you finished design thinking courses at the D School at Hasso-Plattner Institute. Then you did a Bachelor of Arts and a Master of Arts as well in design, and also a Design MBA, which is a pretty special private program that connects both design and business thinking. And then you started working also as both a visual designer and a service designer, a design thinking coach, a digital UX designer. But now you're leading design teams that work on Gen AI powered products across diverse industries in a big consulting company. So it's a super
yeah,
interesting story. Do you want to share a little bit about it and how you got there and
yeah,
what it is that you do now?
yeah. So I think it's kind of adventure time when I just very look back my time. So very at the beginning when I was child, I really liked to drawing about the people and observing the peoples and humans. But I'm actually from South Korea, and South Korea often people thinks that designs or the artist it's not easy to living in your life. So my parents asked me, why don't you then study something and then later you can get a stable job and think about design and art, leave it as your hobby. So therefore I went to the law school, and first year of the university, actually I was in the acting group inside of the university. So when I acting different humans life, I was thinking that, okay, even though I graduate the university in my life, probably I have to learn something constantly. Could be work or humans or other things. So at least then I have to have a job which I really like by myself, so I can have this job in my life, or all of my life, or lifetime of my life. So that's the reason I want to switch my study program to art. First, I tried to do a fine art. So I went to, actually, I was the law school student, but my second year in university, I took all the fine art course in the university. So kind of the awkward person in the university. And I took the exam to change my major and I failed. So, oh, okay, it's not working. I was very sad. And that time, okay, I want to little bit get out of the scenery of the circumstance where I have at that time until in my life, I was in South Korea. And some person, I went to some travel agencies or study program agency, and they told me, "Oh, there is a printing and digital design program in New Zealand, like a 1 year, and you can also study some English and do some design. Why not? So I went there. So I went to New Zealand and see the lots of ships and people. I also do a car traveling, and I learned the basic design tools. And at the end of the New Zealand, I met some German people. In the New Zealand, there are quite German students who do the exchange students and go to the New Zealand. And I learned about the Berlin, and I heard that, oh, Berlin is very international, liberal, especially in the art and music. So that's why after the New Zealand, actually I go to Berlin only for 1 month travel. And then this 1 month
Okay. And
travel
you got stuck like
changed,
so many people.
yeah, changed my life a lot. So, I mean, I'm also very lucky. I mean, if I cannot pass the German exam, maybe I cannot study art and design in Germany. Somehow I learn a German and pass the university uh, exam. So I had a chance to learn a design in Berlin. Yeah, and during the study time, I heard about the design thinking, and I really like to learn the design thinking because I can always explain that what is logic of my design. It's not based on my ego or based on somebody's ego. It's really kind of logical data for the our users. We are designing for this because the users are using our design. So it was kind of cool concept. So that makes me also study the design thinking in the House of Platinum and also think about it. What is the human-centered design? And also a little bit beyond of it, what is how the design thinking also be in my life? Often the design thinking is said that there is no fail. It's also agile mindset. It's like each time when you how to say create something, iterate it and create it and iterate it. And those mindset also helped me a lot in my life.
Which is about like recreating, trying again, iterating, prototyping, and going from there, and not seeing as a mistake, right?
Yeah, that's true. And also be open to hear any feedback or opinions, especially when I think about working in my current company. I work with not only with the designers, but also working with the other expertise in the industries or sometimes very senior people. And all the feedbacks I have to take it first and thinking about what is the most meaningful feedback for my team or for the product or business. So how I can change it to the design. Yeah. Sometimes it's not easy. Of course, feedback is there is a lot of different direction, but the mindset what I learned from the school is really helped me. Yeah.
So talking about your everyday, I mentioned that you work in a larger team now, and especially on Gen AI products, and really like in serious industries like healthcare, business solutions, but also and customer facing solutions. So how did that come about? How did you get into AI, and what exactly did you do?
So actually, before AI, when I also working on different tools or business, not only AI. So when I compare what is the key difference, it's almost the same, but there is a one big difference is collaborating more with my teams closely with the data scientists and
Hmm.
thinking about, so it makes me also thinking lots about the data. So previously when I think building the non-AI tools, probably only think about the business people and then the users and then organizations. But now building with the AI, it makes me think about also AI itself, but it's all, I try to handle it like a creature. When this organization wants to build an AI tool, how the data comes and how shall we managing this data? And once we build a Gen AI tool, later, there is also potential to agentic Gen AI or other Gen AI could be happening in the future. So how the AI can grow up in these organizations with other colleagues, yeah, and the
Hmm.
humans. Mhm.
So you basically just start from the challenge or a problem to be solved, and first address that and then think about what could be the technology for solving,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Actually, I'm very, how to say, could be old-fashioned person because often when I have to build some tools are 0 to 1, I always like to starting from the whiteboard and post-it and pen and paper. Still, even though there is a vibe coding or AI comes up, I feel that the true creativity ideas comes from the human when we are really standing from the white paper and think about it, what else we can do. Yeah.
So in this kind of context, this I mean, of course, it's an ongoing and work in progress, quickly developing technology. So there's a lot going on. So you can't really say like, okay, it's a technology that you can use for this and that, or this and this part of a workflow or a process. I'm wondering, like, what's your thoughts about, like, what are maybe the challenges or misconceptions about AI, especially thinking maybe about like the different expectations of teams, clients, and the cases that they're actually affronting?
Yeah. I think before I starting on the misconception, I also think want to highlight it about that AI in the 2025 when we are talking lots of AI, which is actually about the Gen AI and agentic AI now. But actually, the AI is already existing long, long, long time ago. But people often the people doesn't don't think about this. And when people think about the AI, what the AI can solve my problem or organization problem, they directly think about the Gen AI, and they think that Gen AI can create something very fast for me or for organization. And there is a two misconceptions. One thing is AI can create something very quickly for our organization or some users. And the second thing is that the AI is we are often focused on the very short term effect. So if
Hmm.
we really think about the origin or history of AI, first that we have a collecting the data, this gonna be the algorithm, and then there is a traditional data AI, and then now we have a Gen AI and agentic AI, and I'm pretty sure there will be new AIs coming and growing very fast. And it's very important to we have a mindset is AI is not like a magic stick that makes something, oh, I want to have a pick up of pictures and it will bring to me. We really needs to give right directions or coaching or checking. And then it's just the part of like hammers when we want to building the house. Oh, this AI hammer helps me a little bit. Some part are faster when I build a house, but not everything.
That's interesting that you mentioned the short-term effect.
Mhm.
Do you have examples of an opposite where you would say in a project without naming details and clients, obviously, but where you would say AI-based technology helped in a more longer term sense or in a more holistic kind of way?
So I can say this is that we are coaching the clients to think about the AI tools in the more holistic way. So even though, let's say, when we are working with the client, for the short-term perspective, we build some AI tool with the client, or we coaching to the client to think about this tool the client can using as a holistic way. So there is a one nice example. I cannot specifically say the client and the industry, like 4 years ago, I worked with the client about the machine learning optimization tool. So in this tool, it's not the AI, but it's like a machine learning. So almost before the AI level. So with this tool, the clients can also think about more algorithms and machine learning and collecting the data inside of organizations and how they different expert inside organization collaborating with each other. And 4 years later, the same clients are working with us together. And then to think about it with the AI tools now, how the AI can support the organizations when the organization wants to look for the specific result. And then AI support the research and then quickly show some data, finding the pattern. And then, of
Which
course,
would
when
be
the
an immediate effect,
yeah,
the
yeah,
short-term
it's
effect,
not
right?
a yeah, yeah. In the short-term effect, so let's say 4 years ago and now there is some short-term effect, but those effects are all connected in each other's inside of the organization and also humans level, also working people. Once they have understanding of how the data can be used in the organization, they also be confident and build this kind of tool together inside of the organizations.
So it's much more like, of course, thinking beyond the tool or the workflow, but also thinking about the before and after and how you include people in these overall workflows and
Yeah,
how to basically like attach um,
yeah.
AI enhanced tool in the moment where it really helps, right?
Yeah, exactly. And also in this case of organization, when the AI find the result, what they are looking for, and of course, we also brought some Gen AI also technique too, to also find the evidence and also AI maybe quickly generate the evidence text. But here is the important thing is the user can always see the what is the references behind and what's the data sources, everything. I think these things are sometimes are very much missing when we think about the current AI tools. So let's say we open some certain AI tools and then we just say that, oh, I want to write an email or I want some recipes and AI create the recipes for me, but there is no reference behind. And AI also don't learn from me. What was me or organization 10 years ago we did it, they just make something for me or only short term. So there is a high risk for hallucinations and missing reference. And also it's so good for build a relationship between the AI and humans. So in the short term perspective, it's probably instead of Google search, this AI can give me the direct answer. But in the long-term perspective, AI still don't know about me, and I also don't know about the AI deeply. So always there is some mistake and then distrust each other.
So what would be your ideas for solving this discrepancy or the situation?
So this is my belief. So I believe that when we building the AI tools or when we using the AI tools, we have to. I hope that the users have more power to check the data, and then also the AI tools give us also freedom to play our data by myself. So let's say, so when I was writing my master, it was also about the AI. So at that time, I was think that based on my health data, AI can detect my mood. But still, when I have this health data, I can also use it for different goals, share it with the doctors or nurse or something whatever for my personal project. But this kind of transparencies, I haven't seen any product yet on online. Yeah, we always say that, oh, I want to share my personal data, or I don't want to share my personal data, but I have no access, or if we are not the expert in the data scientist level, we don't know how can we extract this raw data and use it. Yeah. So I feel that we are a little bit kind of consumer position in the AI
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
moment. And we should also be the person how to play with the data and AI. And those are a little bit missing, yeah.
So you mean at the moment, at least like from the tool user perspective, it's a closed shop, it's a black box because you don't
Yeah,
know what data goes in and you don't know the quality that comes out.
yeah.
So are there examples that you would say where it works on a better level?
So I can only think about the recent projects, what I built on the AI tools, which is not for the public tools, but it's more the organization levels that in these tools, the users can always have a detailed level of the freedoms, a kind of a control, what kind of data does the AI use for me when I created the content. Or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they also build a data library. They can also check the quality of the data. This data may be not good. We should not use this data when our organization want to creating some certain level of the content. That is kind of Gen AI example. Other AI example is kind of build a relationship between the human and AI. So one organization wants to have an AI, that AI evaluates lots of the documents. So before the AI live, there is a human, and human evaluate the document, and then these are go to the process. But this time, the AI do the evaluation together with the human, and this supports to the organization and human both sides. In the organization, they want to be this evaluation process are be fair and transparent, which means that first AI evaluates something and then humans see, okay, maybe I learned from the AI. And the human side, they always have to see the reason why the AI do that. And so that is
And
kind of, yeah,
are people then also correcting the results in order for the AI to learn from this and in order to ameliorate future results? Is that the
yeah,
case?
yeah,
Because I think this
exactly.
this is so imperative, because there is also this notion about work slop currently. There were some studies by MIT and Stanford University recently that actually seem to contradict that AI is pushing efficiency in our work. On the
Okay.
contrary, there is notion of just sloppy work created by generative AI and then pushed forward into workflows where then other people have to correct it or maybe just start from scratch. So actually,
Yeah,
some organizations are finding that actually the work is being less effective currently. So
yeah.
what would be the solution from your point of view here, apart from having an in-house solution that is based on your history of data that actually learned over time, co-learns as you just described, and becomes then with time a true agent or assistant?
I think in that situations, we have to proactively check often what the AIs are coming. So when we think about starting from the workflow, at the end of the workflow, we just let the AIs work. For me, no. We always have to, before or the workflow start, we maybe have to give the AI very exact direction what I want. And then during the workflow, we also have to control the AI very correctly. Then, which then it may be back to the questions are coming in my mind. Does the AI is really useful in the all kinds of the work? And probably
Hmm.
there is also yes and no questions depending on the works or the impact. So that is the thing we have to really think about it. Sometimes it's also better that humans are working by themselves, not the AI, in the current technology. 5 years later, we don't know, but for now, there is some works is better that we are doing. Some works, AI is better, but we have to be very, very caring a lot, micromanaging. And these micromanaging are a little bit missing, or some tools doesn't guide to humans and users to do this micromanaging.
I'm wondering, like, from your perspective, from your professional perspective, you said, or you described how user-centered design and collaboration is important to you. I'm wondering, were you seeing the role as a designer in such project? Are you still feeling like a designer, or are you maybe something like a prompt composer or curator of prompts and quality controller? How do you see this? What's the role of design there, and what's the impact your design background is bringing in such an AI product development project? What do you think?
So in the AI product development project, still I am not using the AI tool inside of AI product development because there is a risk of the hallucinations and also there is a risk for organizations' data. We don't know how it will be used once we add it. So still software development perspective, I'm very conservative to using the vibe coding or the using other AI tools. But in the hobby perspective, I am using more. Okay, if so personally, I think that there is not a big difference. Just I feel that there is a one more person is I have to care. The title is AI. So before the AI times, me as work as a designer, I always think that me as a person more communicator. So I have to communicate it with the designers, users, and business people and data developers. How can we think about all these perspective and bring some product that which is helpful to the users? But now there is a one just person is involved which name is AI, then I have to thinking about how can we bring this AI into these organizations and user, and this AI can also little bit more growth and then have a good relationship with the human and the AI, and then don't make the hallucinations or I'm thinking the AI more children. So how can this baby can growing the right adult, not in the wrong way? And I'm very be careful when I working creating the AI tool. This AI growing as a right adult, not go to the wrong directions. Yeah,
Okay, so from designer to composer to parent and
yeah,
safekeeper in a
yeah,
way.
yeah.
I mean, Saki, there is one thing that because like you're coming on the jury for a UX design award, and we're talking about UX also a lot.
Mhm.
Until now, most products we're using are based on prompts, right?
Yeah.
Chat-based interfaces or UIs, and that's basically the interaction we still have with algorithmic technologies. And it's fairly limited in terms of experience flow. I'm just wondering, like, if you think about possibilities and near or midterm future about like what kind of new UX patterns you would expect for interacting with AI or would wish to be there.
So I expect that voice interface probably
Hmm.
come up because I recognize that there is lots of voice in AI related business or industries that comes. And then second thing I can imagine is connecting more digital products. So without, let's say in the currently I have to open the screen and then type something and AI give me the output. But with a certain digital interface, maybe I do not need to say something with the AI my need. AI recognize my need and then come back to me. Hey, Seulki, I think you need this and that. How's going with your life? And then support my life or schedules. Yeah, these kind of interactions I can imagine. Yeah,
So this would be more like companion technology. For
yeah,
instance,
companion technology.
we just talked with Joshua Toe. He is responsible for wearables at Meta. And I think that the biggest challenge here is for it to work in a perfect way, like you might know from the film Her, would be that we, not only you as a user, but everybody around you have to be totally connected and the data be totally available for the technology in order to make these predictions, right? To
Yeah,
know
that's true.
I'm talking with Seulki now, and what is she doing next, and what has been she working on? So which topics might me, make sense to talk about, and vice versa. Yes. What's the next step? What's the context? What's not only on my calendar, but maybe what I'm not even aware of. So is that even feasible to have this kind of like total data transparency?
That's quite good questions, and I feel a little bit. It sounds also very creepy.
It
It
does.
feels me like a Black Mirror series in the Netflix. So personally, theoretically, I believe that it's possible because like 2017, there is already like an article from the USA university that how the humans' life data can also translate it into detecting the emotion. But when I see, think about that paper, always the challenge is how can we measuring as a human's movement or the heartbeat or facial expressions to translate it to the data itself, and then the machines are detect about these things and then predict about our health or emotion and so on. And I mean, in the technology perspective, yes, probably it will become like a hers scenario. But on the other side, I also think that the human is always sometimes unpredictable. So these
Very much
unpredictable
so.
things, even though let's say AI predict what I will do in the next after talking with you, what I will do, but I'm also could be unpredictable animals, which is also talented side for the human. That's probably how to say interesting empty page for and also opportunity for us as a human. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think a level of unpredictability is still something very healthy,
Yeah.
and I still cherish this in any kind of interactions. Well, talking about AI now for the last 15 minutes or so, and there has been so much talk, and of course so much work, and so much material and resources flooding us the last couple of years. I'm wondering if there is something that you can't hear about AI anymore, something that you say like, that's my blacklist, totally.
I think that so what I a little bit have a blacklist is I don't want to read the article anymore that AI will replace the certain types of the work or certain or everybody's work or designers work or developers work because humans' life is not only happening in the digital. So digital is just part of the technique to connecting in our daily lives and expanding. And I think that AI is also just part of human interactions or humans' life. But sometimes we talking too much or believe that AI solves everything or AI will control the humans or something. Those kind of text or article I don't want to hear anymore. Yeah.
So
Because
you're
as
not
I said,
believing it will, the technology will replace design jobs?
I don't believe it because design's perspective, I mean, if we think about a certain very tiny topic about the visual design, depending on the how we defined our job, yes, but still on the other side, visual creativity, maybe AI can give the designer more options and then designer can choose. Designer as myself, I believe that I'm the person who find out the problem, define the problem or find out the problem and solve it together with the people. Those things I think AI cannot change it. Maybe AI can be a thought partner for me, like a consultant, but yeah.
Yeah, that's also why I'm skeptical about AI generated personas and research. They might be good for bulk research, they might be good for desk research, but they can't predict, as you said, unpredictability, which is human. So at the moment we design products for people, I believe at least there must be also person to person research and the discovery of shadowing actual people and not just relying on artificial personas. I think this sounds too good to be true. This is more almost like marketing based on surveys. You just miss the undertones and the importance of finding out the why and not just like having the facts and numbers.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. I also believe that this kind of method may be working very, very at the beginning, but at
Mm,
the
hmm.
end,
Yeah,
also when we really need to find a niche idea or
yeah,
solutions, yeah, I totally agree on you. Yeah.
yeah. I'm a last question about AI and jobs because it's something that I'm wondering about lately. I sense there is a little bit of a danger in terms of a gap of juniors coming up because, as you said, the technology is becoming better and better at solving, let's say, basic tasks, fundamental tasks, first stages of tasks. And I'm wondering, so when will people have the opportunity to learn when they come into jobs from university? So to me, there is a kind of like a junior gap coming up. So
Mm-hmm.
how do you think will this situation evolve? Do you agree, or are you thinking about this within your company? And do you have solutions, or how do you go about this situation?
For the junior level colleagues, So this
Or
year,
is there like an expectation that people would just self-learn all the time and come into jobs on an even higher knowledge level? But knowledge and tools knowledge is not everything. Your
yeah,
experience come through work. So
yeah.
what if your, like entry level positions aren't not that necessary anymore? So what you start to
Mm.
do your work experience, which is also about social solutions. It's about like the environment at work. It's about learning from others. It's about learning through mistakes.
I believe that the definition about the junior maybe could be changed in the future. So let's say in the
Hmm.
current term, the definition of junior, they don't know how to maybe create a certain kind of activities very at the beginning. But let's say when the AI can handling this point, then as a juniors, in this situation, maybe then junior should know that what is the good quality from so many options that AI created for me. The junior maybe needs the person maybe should have to learn what kind of priority do we have to set for my project or organizations and why. And based on this priority or impact or the metric that I set it, I want to choose the AI's works this. And then I also maybe adjust it because in certain kind of the reasons. And if I am come back and really think, I think about the design thinking again. I know that design thinking hype is already gone, but core mindset, how do we find the problems and then managing the process and working with the others? These are the what I also learned in the school time. And then we can still use it no matter how the tools are changing a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so it's much more about a kind of curating role
Yeah.
and the ability to engage in discovery and questioning of results, and then pushing maybe the boundaries to the next step.
Yeah, that's true. And maybe I hope that I don't want to overwhelm the junior people, but it's also important to do it by yourself, even though AI will, how to say, AI will cover all your hand technique, but there is also much difference. There is some leaders in the design perspective. There is a design leader who knows how to work on the hands-on stuff and how they can give you the direction. And there is some design leader who can only see the big mountains and then can give you the direction. The level of the guidance are different. So what I can say is love what design and the art, and then the always try to find solve the solutions for the peoples, and then be flexible, and then don't forget the classic, the basic knowledge that we all learned from our school times. Yeah, I
Hmm.
think these are still useful.
And I think from what you say, also mentorship and leadership becomes even more and more important, because in terms of like helping people to grow through their path when they're not actually doing just like, let's say, the basic tasks, but have to be much more involved in decision making. Then I
Yeah,
think coaching is so important. Seulki, we're very glad that you're coming on to the UX Design Awards jury. And of course, like people watching us now, they're wondering how do the jurors decide, what are the criteria, or what makes a submission successful in the terms of how to present your work, not only how to sell it, but how to explain it in a very short and concise way. So you and your colleagues are able to grasp it, to understand the backgrounds, to understand it, to judge it, to evaluate it on in terms of impact and other criteria. So I'm wondering if you can share a few thoughts about like what makes a good submission to you, Seulki, if we're thinking about design awards entries. What do you want to learn from a submission? What should people provide?
I want to see a full picture of the storyline. So the
Hmm.
intentions and until the
Hmm.
outcome. So which means that what was the why the projects are started from the user perspective or the organization perspective, where is the need, and what was kind of challenges that happen inside of organizations and also user side. and how the persons are tackle all those kind of problems. Because sometimes I recognize that there is a problem for the user, and how we are solve it as a nice UX design is easier than really implement it. So I also want to see this implementation process too,
Hmm. Hmm.
because I think that it's not always easy to implement the
Yeah.
design itself. So if there is also roadmap or vision ideas, that's also the things I want to see this.
But what do you feel is often missing when designers present their work?
What I learned from my organization a lot is how to connect the design's work with the business perspective or business value. Or stored in the opposite way. There is something business problem, how the designers solve this business problem. So try to positioning the designers, we are also the important persons are inside the organization. And those kind of mindset or the things, what I learned from my organization, and sometimes I feel that not all the designers are do this. Yeah, when I just see the broader perspective. Yeah,
So this is really about linking your design decisions to the objectives that you set out, and most importantly, understand the objective, or like develop, have your design workflows, UX solutions based on the objectives of the entire organization, including,
yeah,
of course, the users, right?
yeah. And or in the opposite way, also thinking about that how your design can solve the users and also in the organization. So your design can also alive in the next year or the over the 10th year. So it can still use for in the world. Yeah.
Right. Thinking about the impact.
Yeah.
Dear Seulki, thank you so much. We've been talking about almost an hour, so it's been a great conversation. Thank you for sharing thoughts about your work, about AI technology, of course, about judging and what it means to present work in a design and business context. And I look forward to having you on the jury very soon.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it was pleasure to talk with you. Yeah.
Thanks to everybody. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this edition of the UX Conversations as much as I did, and enjoyed hearing from Seulki Lee. If you'd like to see more content, there's loads of interviews and, of course, information about the awards and the ongoing call for entries on uxdesignawards.com. Feel free to jump to our website, follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, or just through our newsletters. That's also still a very good source of information. Thank you very much again. And until next time, take good care. Bye bye, wherever you are across the world, and see you at our next events. Take care. Bye bye.